Chalk bag or chalk bucket? Which one is best for you and your bouldering? Hi, I'm Sarah. This is from sendedition.com. If you're climbing between a V0 and V5, click subscribe right now. I'm making videos like this just for you. So in today's video, we're going over the differences between a chalk bag and a chalk bucket so you can make the best decision for yourself. If you notice in my videos, I'm wearing a chalk bag, and that's not because I prefer a chalk bag over a chalk bucket. It's because in my videos, I'm carrying around a tripod, and by strapping this to my waist, I don't have to worry about the chalk bucket and a tripod. I actually prefer a chalk bucket usually when I go bouldering. There is a con that is actually kind of significant to me that I will go over later in this video, so stay tuned. Let's start with the pros and cons of a chalk bag. The biggest pro is you can just wrap it around your waist, clip it to yourself, and it's always with you. That's probably one of the nicest things and why I actually use a chalk bag when I'm making these videos, because I don't have to worry about my chalk bag in addition to the camera when I'm making videos. The thing with bouldering is when you're bouldering, you're highly likely to fall, and when you fall, you might fall backwards and the chalk will dump out. Because of that, I actually close the chalk bag, which is kind of counterintuitive. It is. It's completely counterintuitive to climbing with a chalk bag, but because the reason I climb with a chalk bag is just so that I don't have to worry about picking it up later, that is not a concern for me. I just close it before I start climbing, because unlike a chalk bucket you leave on the ground, this is attached to your waist. I get chalk everywhere. I have gone through so much chalk in the last month alone because I forget to close it before I start climbing. Now, if you notice, a lot of climbers may think, oh, well, there's extra weight if I have this around my waist, but the truth is the weight of this tiny little bag in chalk is not going to change whether or not you send or don't send your route. So if that's on your pros and cons list, scratch it out right now. It really doesn't make a difference. You can even see professional climbers at competitions wear these around their waist. Now, they have it open so they can reapply, and that's something that's really nice about a chalk bag is if you leave it open while you're climbing, you can stick your hand in and re-chalk up in the middle of a route. With bouldering routes, they're usually short enough you don't need it, but there have been quite a few times that I've gotten off a route and I see that the chalk is completely removed from my fingers because I got so sweaty at certain moves. So that's just an indicator that I probably would have benefited from chalking up in the middle of the climb. Now, with most chalk bags, they usually have a holder for your brush and some sort of pocket. This brush holder is actually too big for my small brush and too small for my big brush. So I'm not able to use this. And then the pocket, you could put tape in here, clippers, or whatever is really common, some sort of skincare thing. I have a gym bag when I have this with me, so I just keep that stuff in my gym bag. And I mostly just use this pocket to hold the strings while I'm storing it. So it's really not that useful for me, but it may be useful for you. That covers everything with this chalk bag, I think. Let's go into the chalk bucket. Now, chalk buckets, they are a completely different type of chalk container. The biggest and most beneficial pro of a chalk bucket is you can stick both your hands in the chalk bucket at a time, and you can rub your hands together for the ultimate coverage that you need. And that's actually really big, especially for beginner climbers. A lot of beginners will stick their hand in the chalk bag and then take their hands out and then rub it together, and you lose a lot of chalk when you do that. With a chalk bucket, you can keep your hands hovering over the bucket while you're applying the chalk. You're going to waste less chalk using this. In addition, it's built to stand on its own, so you just put it on the ground and you don't have to worry about it spilling the chalk out everywhere. And that's with pretty much every chalk bag that you get on the market. They come with really big pockets, so when I was using this primarily for bouldering, you can put all the hand care stuff. So I had sand block, clippers, tape, phone, in this all at the same time, keys, anything you can think of Most chalk buckets have substantial pockets. This one even has additional pockets on the back side that you can put brushes or any kind of gear that you feel like needs to go in a pocket. I would actually take a carabiner to my shoes and just attach it to this handle. Literally, I would just pick this up and go bouldering. And it had everything I needed in this little bag, which is definitely a huge pro. The only con that's really substantial for me was the community that I climb around. There have been on multiple occasions I will be climbing on a boulder and I'll look behind me and some stranger's child is sticking their hands in this bucket. And you know, I'm not like, they could have had their fingers in their mouths. Like they could have picked their nose right before they stuck their hands in this bucket. So I really hope that's not the case, but it is an unfortunate thing about leaving your chalk bucket on the ground if you're bouldering by yourself, because no one else is there guarding your bucket of precious chalk. So it's more likely to happen if you're bouldering by yourself. Just a brief overview. This one you can keep on your waist. You don't have to worry about carrying it around with you. This one you can put everything in it, including your phone and gear, and you don't have to worry about carrying anything else to the gym. This one you don't have to worry about little children sticking their hands in it, but if you do want to share this with other people that you're climbing with, they do have to stick their hand, you know, near your butt or wherever you put this, so that might be awkward. This one, they can put both hands over it and the excess chalk can be caught in the bucket, which is actually a really big pro for me. So what are your thoughts now that we've gone through a pretty thorough pros and cons list of both for bouldering? What do you think you're going to go with? Which one are you going to purchase? And be sure to include that in the comments below so we can share that and get your insight as well. Thanks so much for watching to the end of this video. If it was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. That's an indicator that you enjoy this content so I can make more like it for you. Thanks again for watching and enjoy climbing.